I was standing in my backyard one morning just watching the sunrise when something powerful hit me. My neighbor was already up, loading his truck for work while most people were still hitting the snooze button. Every single day, rain or shine, that man was out there by 5 a.m. Some folks would call that crazy. But here's what's interesting: in 3 years, he went from driving that old pickup truck to owning a fleet of construction vehicles. Now people would come up to him and say, "Man, you sure got lucky with that business of yours?" And I'd just shake my head because I saw what they didn't. I saw those cold mornings. I saw those late nights. I saw the times his truck broke down, and he still found a way to get to his job sites. You see, what most people call luck, I call showing up when others won't. I used to be full of excuses myself. The economy's bad. The timing's not right. I don't have the connection. Sound familiar? These were the lullabies I sang myself to sleep with, the comfortable lies that kept me exactly where I was, stuck in average. But then something happened that shook me to my core. I was sitting at my kitchen table, bills spread out before me, when my little girl asked me if we could go to the bookstore. I had to tell her no because I couldn't afford a $15 book that week. That moment, that single, painful moment, taught me more about excuses than any seminar ever could. Excuses are like a warm blanket on a cold morning. They're comfortable, they feel good, they protect us from the harsh reality that we're not where we want to be. That same blanket that keeps you warm is the one that's keeping you from getting up and building the life you deserve. Success isn't complicated, but it's brutal in its simplicity. While everyone else is talking about what they're going to do someday, winners are quietly working. While others are explaining why they can't, the successful are finding ways they can. It's not about having resources. It's about being resourceful. The marketplace doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care that you're tired, that you had a rough childhood, or that nobody believes in you. The marketplace only rewards one thing: results. That's the beautiful, harsh reality of success. I've been talking about results, and you know what stops most people from getting them? Their comfort zone. That little space they've carved out where everything feels safe, predictable, and utterly limiting. The way we humans can sit in our living rooms, looking at our dreams through the window, but never opening the door to chase them. We make excuses so sophisticated they almost sound like wisdom. I'm just being realistic, we tell ourselves. I'm being responsible. But let me share something with you. There's nothing responsible about settling for less than you're capable of. Every excuse you make today is a check you'll have to cash tomorrow, with interest. And that interest, it's paid in regret, in what ifs, in looking back at your life, wondering what could have been if you just pushed a little harder, reached a little further. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're not just standing still, you're falling behind. Because while you're sitting there comfortable, somebody else is out there getting uncomfortable, pushing boundaries, making mistakes, learning, growing. They're paying the price you're unwilling to pay. The cost of comfort is far greater than most people realize. It's not just about missing opportunities, it's about who you become. Every time you back down from a challenge, every time you choose the easy way out, you're programming your mind to settle for less. You're teaching yourself that mediocrity is acceptable. Let me tell you something that might sting a little. Mediocrity is not an accident. It's a choice we make every single day. It's in the small decisions. Hitting the snooze button instead of hitting the gym. Watching another episode instead of reading that book. Scrolling through social media instead of scrolling through business opportunities. But what's interesting about breaking free from mediocrity, it doesn't require some grand, dramatic gesture. It starts with small daily decisions. It's about doing what others won't do today so you can do what others can't do tomorrow. I remember talking to a successful business owner who told me something profound. He said, "The difference between where I am and where my competitors are isn't in our strategies, it's in our daily habits." While they were waiting for opportunities, he was creating them. While they were planning to start tomorrow, he was starting today, even if he wasn't ready, even if conditions weren't perfect. The trap isn't just the comfort zone itself. It's the illusion that we can stay there and still achieve extraordinary things. But success lives outside your comfort zone. Growth lives outside your comfort zone. Everything you want, everything you dream about, everything you aspire to be, it all lives outside the comfortable little box you've built for yourself. Most people see it as something to avoid. But the truly successful understand it's their greatest opportunity for personal evolution. Let me share something profound with you. True success isn't just about making money. It's about who you become in the process of earning that money. Every time you're working, you're actually developing in two markets simultaneously. The first market is obvious. It's the marketplace where you sell your products, your services, your time. But there's a second market that most people completely miss. It's the marketplace of personal development. The skills you gain, the character you build, the person you become. A fundamental truth that took me years to understand: the marketplace will pay you exactly what you're worth, not a penny more, not a penny less, and your worth isn't determined by what you want, it's determined by the value you create. The universal law of achievement is brutally simple. Your income can only grow to the extent that you do. Most people focus on getting a better job, but successful people focus on becoming better at their job. They understand that success isn't about finding opportunities. It's about becoming the kind of person who attracts opportunity. The kind of person who can handle opportunities when they come. Let me give you a principle that changed everything. Success is not about what you get. It's about what you give. The marketplace is nothing more than a giant scoreboard that measures how much value you've created for others. Want to make $1 million? Figure out how to solve $1 million problems. Want to build an empire? Create empire-sized value. Value creation isn't just about what you do. It's about how you think. The most successful people I've ever met don't just work hard, they work smart. They understand that every hour they invest must produce a return. They're not just busy, they're productive. They're not just active, they're effective. Effectiveness, it's a skill you can develop. Just like you can develop your muscles in the gym, you can develop your ability to create value. But here's the catch. Just like in the gym, you've got to push yourself beyond what's comfortable. You've got to do what others won't do so you can have what others won't have. I've watched people transform their lives by understanding this simple principle. Your rewards in life will always be in direct proportion to your contribution. The more problems you solve, the more value you create, the more success you'll achieve. It's not about luck. It's not about circumstances. It's about consistent, focused, intentional value creation. Building an empire, not built in a day, or a week, or even a year. It's built in moments. Those small, seemingly insignificant decisions you make when nobody's watching. Those quiet victories before sunrise. Those extra hours when everyone else has gone home. Daily discipline's not exciting. They're not glamorous, and most people won't understand them. But that's exactly why they work. While everyone else is looking for the secret, the shortcut, the magic formula, successful people are doing the mundane things with extraordinary consistency. Here's what I mean. Every morning when you wake up, you've got a choice. You can either run your day, or your day will run you. The most successful people I know don't just have a to-do list. They have a success ritual. They understand that how you start your day determines how you live your day, and how you live your day determines how you live your life. If you improve yourself just 1% every day, in a year you'll be 365% better. That's the power of daily disciplines. It's not about making radical changes. It's about making consistent, intentional improvements. Small hinges swing big doors. Strategic thinking, because this is where most people miss the mark. They're so busy working in their empire that they forget to work on their empire. Strategic thinking isn't just about planning. It's about understanding the relationship between cause and effect. It's about seeing patterns where others see chaos. I remember talking to a gentleman who built a $100 billion business. You know what he told me? He said, most people focus on making money. I focus on solving problems worth $100 million. That's strategic thinking. He understood that the size of your success is directly proportional to the size of the problems you solve. Creating lasting value, not just about what you build. It's about what you build that can survive without you. Most people create businesses that depend on them. Successful people create systems that work without them. They understand the difference between being self-employed and being a business owner. Let me give you a principle that transformed my understanding of building an empire. Your business is not your product or service. Your business is the system that delivers your product or service. McDonald's doesn't sell hamburgers. They sell a system that consistently delivers hamburgers. Walmart doesn't sell products. They sell a system that efficiently distributes products. And speaking of systems, here's something crucial. Every empire needs 3 types of systems. One for attracting opportunities, one for converting opportunities into results, and one for maintaining and growing those results. Most people focus only on the middle part and wonder why they're stuck on a treadmill of constant effort. Building an empire isn't just about making money. It's about creating something that outlasts you, something that continues to create value even when you're not there, something that becomes your legacy. True empire builders understand that wealth isn't just measured in dollars and cents, it's measured in impact, in influence in the lives you touch and the problems you solve. They understand that the greatest satisfaction doesn't come from having success, but from sharing success, from creating opportunities for others, from lifting others up as you climb. Now this all sounds good, but let me tell you about the price you'll have to pay to build this empire, because this is where things get real. Success? Not free. There's always a price. And here's the interesting part. You either pay the price of discipline or you pay the price of regret. The choice is always yours, but you must pay one or the other. Most people think sacrifice means giving up something valuable for something else. But real sacrifice is giving up something good for something better. It's not about loss. It's about investment. Every time you say no to something good, you're actually saying yes to something great. When you're watching TV, somebody else is studying. When you're sleeping in, somebody else is up working on their dreams. When you're spending money on things you don't need, somebody else is investing in their future. These aren't just choices. They're trades. You're trading your future for your present or your present for your future. Time management, because this is where most people get it all wrong. You don't manage time. Time manages itself just fine. What you manage are choices. Every minute you spend is an investment, and the question isn't, where does my time go? The question is, where do I want my time to go? I've watched people complain they don't have time to build their dreams while spending 3 hours a day on social media. I've seen people say they can't afford to invest in themselves while buying $5 coffee every morning. It's not about having time. It's about making time. It's not about having money. It's about making choices. Investing in yourself, only investment where you control the return. The stock market can crash, real estate can fall, businesses can fail. But what you invest in yourself, your skills, your knowledge, your character, that's yours forever. Nobody can take it away from you. Personal investment. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now. The same is true for investing in yourself. Maybe you didn't start yesterday, maybe you didn't start last year, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that you start today. Successful people understand something that average people don't. Your income rarely exceeds your personal development. Want to earn more? Become more. Want to achieve more? Learn more? Want to attract better opportunities? Develop better skills. The marketplace will always pay for value, and your value is directly tied to your personal growth. Success? It often hinges on a single moment. Not the moment everything changes, but the moment when you decide that everything must change. That's what we call a turning point. Decision-making that most people never understand. There's a world of difference between making a decision and making a true decision. A true decision is when you cut off any possibility of retreat. It's like the ancient armies that would burn their boats upon reaching new shores. There was no going back, only forward. I remember the day I made such a decision. I was sitting at my desk looking at my life, and I realized something powerful. Everything I had or didn't have, everything I'd achieved or failed to achieve, was the result of decisions I'd made or failed to make. That's when it hit me. If my decisions created my present, new decisions could create my future. Taking responsibility isn't about beating yourself up for past mistakes. It's about claiming your power to shape what happens next. You see, there are two types of people in this world. Those who say life happens to me and those who say life happens through me. The difference in those two little words. Tom answered, makes all the difference in the world. Responsibility, not just about taking blame. It's about taking control. When you truly take responsibility, something magical happens. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of circumstances. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I do about it? Now, where momentum comes into play, and this is fascinating, success isn't about making one right decision. It's about making one right decision after another until good choices become automatic. It's like pushing a heavy boulder. The hardest part is getting it to move that first inch. But once it's moving, it becomes easier to keep it moving. Every major success in your life started with a small decision that created momentum. Maybe it was picking up that first book, making that first cold call, saving that first dollar, or waking up early that first morning. Small actions, consistently taken, create unstoppable momentum. But hear me carefully on this. Momentum is a double-edged sword. It can work for you or against you. Every time you follow through on a decision, you build positive momentum. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you build negative momentum. The key is to understand that every decision you make today is creating momentum for tomorrow. Success isn't just about knowing what to do. Most people know what to do. Success is about doing what you know. It's about taking those daily actions, making those daily decisions that move you closer to your goals. It's about understanding that every decision, no matter how small, is either moving you towards success or away from it. What I'm about to share with you could be worth a fortune, but only if you take action on it. Right here, right now, in this moment, you have a choice to make. Will this be just another speech you heard, or will this be the moment everything changed? Here's your challenge, and I want you to write this down. For the next 90 days, commit to becoming a different person. Not a better version of yourself, a completely different person. Because if you want something you've never had, you've got to become someone you've never been. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you turn on the TV, before you do anything else, spend 30 minutes working on your dream. Just 30 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Whether it's reading, planning, practicing, or building, give your dreams the first fruits of your day. Next, make a list of every excuse you've been using. Write them all down, every single one. Then, next to each excuse, write down what that excuse has cost you. Not just in dollars and cents, but in dreams delayed, in opportunities missed, in growth stunted. Let that pain fuel your transformation. The first week will be hard. Your old habits will fight back. Your old way of thinking will try to pull you back into comfort. This is normal. This is expected. But remember, temporary discomfort is the price of permanent improvement. Start small, but start now. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for New Year's. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is a myth. The right moment is right now. Take one small step today, then another tomorrow, then another the next day. Before you know it, you'll have walked miles from where you started. Remember what we talked about. Success leaves clues. The people who have what you want have already left the blueprint. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to be willing to follow the proven path and pay the full price of success. Success. It's predictable, just like failure is predictable. Do what successful people do long enough and you'll get what successful people get. Do what unsuccessful people do long enough. Your life 5 years from now will be the direct result of two things: the books you read and the people you associate with. Choose both carefully. Surround yourself with people who remind you more of your future than your past. Starting tomorrow morning, you have a choice to make. Will you hit the snooze button on your life, or will you wake up and chase your dreams? Will you make excuses, or will you make progress? Will you settle for less than you're capable of, or will you stretch yourself toward greatness?